Today, I'm super excited to sit down with Mao, a high-performance coach, to dive into something that can totally transform your trading game: psychology. Especially in the early stages, mastering the mental game can make or break a trader's success. Mao is a high-performance coach who has empowered CEOs, traders, and entrepreneurs around the world to unlock their full potential. Hello, Mao. Welcome to the interview.
Thank you so much, Alenka. It's an honor to be here, sitting with you here at For Traders.
I can't wait to talk about growth mindset, trading psychology, and how emotions are sometimes blocking us in, getting better results in trading.
Yes, let's do this.
Most traders, when they get into trading, they realize that the reality is completely different from their expectations. They find trading more difficult than they thought it would be. And as a result, they might fail once or twice, then easily get depressed and eventually just give up. And I would like to talk about failure from completely different perspective. Then, when you fail once or twice, then the trading might not be for you. But let's talk about failure as a stepping stone towards mastery.
It's a beautiful topic that I love talking about. I think it's important first to recognize what a fixed mindset and a growth mindset is, right? So a fixed mindset is that voice or is that person that tells you, you suck, you're not good at this, you're not going to go any further. Let's go back to our comfort zone. Let's go back to how life was so easy, And the growth mindset is the voice that tells you, hey, you failed, but look at everything that you learned. Let's analyze where we went wrong, what we did good, and how we can do better next time, how we can do at least 1% better next time. That growth mindset is your biggest cheerleader, and when traders adapt this mindset, it is plus all those skills that they are acquiring and working with this growth mindset, it is so powerful. I believe they can become powerful traders, A growth mindset sees failures as opportunities. If you don't fail, then you won't succeed. In neuroplasticity, neuroscientists, they emphasize that the brain learns actually from negative experiences more than it does from positive experiences. So imagine that. So you're here failing, and it's actually good for your brain. It's actually good for you. So seeing that in a way is going to help you get to the trader that you envision in the future. It is super powerful, and it's not easy to do, but traders can get there.
It sounds great, but I think it sounds easier than
Yes.
it is actually, because I know from my own experience that when you get into this negative loop and you feel like that you fail and you fail and you fail, and then you find like the inner voice that tells you like, hey, you failed in everything what you have done so far. And with this growth mindset, it sounds really great. But how can you get from this negative loop to start thinking positively again?
Yeah.
And especially, I feel like for Czech people, like every failure, it's like you're done, because your people around you, they will keep asking you about like, hey, you failed, right? You didn't succeed. And it's not like, I think, especially for Americans, it's slightly different, because they really see like, if I want to succeed, I know that I will fail once, twice, maybe 3 times, but eventually I will make it. But especially for Czech mentality, it's different. And so how to get from this negative loop back on track?
Well, I say to the Czech community that have those friends saying that
your husband is Czech, right?
Yeah,
so you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, so I would say like get new friends. Those are not good friends. Your friends are the ones that are cheering for you, that they want to see you succeed. So yes, that's a good question. How do we get there? So one of the things that I suggest for my clients, for example, is to journal. Journaling is so powerful because at the time, you know, let's say you failed at a challenge and then you're feeling all of these emotions, and you take the time to actually sit with those emotions and explore them and be curious. Like, what am I feeling? What am I thinking? What is my brain? What is my mind telling me right at this moment? And journal about them, you know? And then later on, going back to that journal and reading about that will change your perspective in a different way of seeing yourself. It will actually even help you be kinder to yourself and to realize that you have gone, that you are growing, that you are getting better. At that time, it might not seem like, because you're in this anxious and stressful state, you know, like, oh, life
I know
sucks,
sometimes.
you know, but actually like reading back to your journals and seeing that how you've constantly been improving yourself, it's good. Another one that I really like is well, we talked about the fixed mindset and the growth mindset. And one way to see that voice that is telling you that it's not doing anything good for you is actually like maybe even giving it a name, you know, like a silly name, call it Barney, and have it like a weird voice. Hey, you know, like, you suck. And then this, you're not doing any good, you know? So this will also help you dissociate yourself to this voice, and you'll see how silly it is, you know, how not important it is. Success, again, is, I mean, I'm sorry, failure will lead you to success eventually. And then I know like we're going to continue to talk about other ways, but I think those two ways of defining what the fixed mindset is telling you, give it a name, don't like, and also like, I think it's important to work with it too. Some people say like, yes, don't listen to it, suppress it. But I think it's important to find that balance of like, hey, okay, what are you telling me now? You're telling me that we suck. You're telling me that this is not good for us. You're telling me, but that's actually your brain trying to protect you, to save energy. But then if you listen to it and then you say, hey, let's work this way. Let's try it this way. Let's see what happens if we do it this way instead of your way for a minute. So you're training your brain to see newer opportunities, to see a bigger picture.
Sounds great. So when there's a time that I have my inner voice telling me like, hey, you suck, you didn't succeed, whatever you do, you failed, then I should actually always think about like, hey, now is the time for my brain to save my energy, and then I should focus on what maybe I have done better the time.
Exactly.
And honestly, I've never written any journal yet about my feelings, because I find it kind of I don't want to say useless, but I don't have that much time to sit down, relax, and then keep thinking of my emotions and my energy and how I feel. But I think I will start doing it, because like, is it better to do it like in the morning or in the evening, or when? Because usually we are quite busy like throughout the day. So when is the best time to write a journal?
Good question, especially with kids, you know, that's another job that, you know, we don't get paid for, but we have to do it. I think you just have to find your routine. I get also routines is so important also as a trader. In coaching, they ask us to have a routine before we see a client and after we see a client. We have to get in that Zen space, you know. So I encourage also traders to find that routine that works for them. So for journaling, I actually try to do it in the mornings when I wake up. And it doesn't have to be 10, 20, 30 minutes. It can just be 5 minutes. I call it a brain dump. You know, everything that is on my mind, maybe not so much about emotions at that time, because I'm just like, you know, thinking of so many things, and it just, everything that is on my brain, I just dump it in the journal, and then that will help me just like really focus on what really matters. So when it comes to your emotions, so let's say you failed at a challenge, you know, and right there and then you're just like feeling everything, you know, sit down and write down what you're feeling. Be curious about it. Ask questions that you never dare to ask yourself, because that will take you through this like amazing journey that you'll never take for granted. You know, be curious about yourself. So When is the perfect time? You have to find it for yourself. But the most important thing is that you actually take at least 5 to 10 minutes. See it as growth mindset is not a theory. It's actually also a practice. You go into the gym to build muscles, to feel healthy and fit and all this. It's the same concept for the brain. It's the same concept for the mind. You have to find the time and whatever works best for you.
We are talking about like the growth mindset, but there is the fixed mindset as well. And also from my own experience, sometimes I can see like I have failed so many times, but actually when I look back, I can't see the progress. So, how to switch my mind towards the growth mindset instead of like just fixed mindset, and to focus on improving every single time I fail.
So we can take this also like the snowball effect, right, too, as well. When you have a snowball gaining momentum and going down the hill, it continues to grow. It gets bigger on size, right? So we can grasp the same concept for failing and failing at challenges per se. It's that concept of like small steps will get you, to that momentum, to get you where you envision yourself in the future.
It's like to appreciate every tiny step,
every
because
single
usually we just
step.
see our vision like really like miles and miles away, and we can't see that actually to get to this point we have to actually make like thousands and thousands tiny steps, right?
Exactly. And that also comes in, it reminds me of being present, being present with yourself, believing that you are where you need to be, and that all of these, what you think are step backs, are actually steps forward.
Yeah.
And being and having this presence, like, I am here. I really feel it. I need to be here. Gets you to that growth mindset. Helps you come into this growth mindset.
What I also think it's very important that right now everyone spends hours and hours on social media. And I realized that most of the people, when they share some experience, some stories, some reels, they're always about successful stuff they have done, right?
Yeah.
And about failure, no one really wanna share like, hey, I failed today and yesterday, and like I already failed like 10 times, right? And then when we scroll social media, then we see like every single person that is on Instagram is successful, and we are the only ones that are not. And I think sometimes it's very important to realize that we can't compare ourselves with someone who is much more experienced, much older than us, who spends like so many hours on trading, right? We can't just compare ourselves when we just started with trading with someone who has been trading for like 10 years. And I think this is one of the most important things that we should realize and always keep in mind, that be aware who you compare yourself with.
Yeah, I think social media can be as wonderful. It will connect us to people around the world and inspire us, as toxic as And yes, and we have to be careful with that. Comparing yourself to others it's not healthy. It's not healthy. You have to believe that you are unique. And I want to say that traders are unique, and they're so courageous into stepping up and putting themselves into this situation, because it is stressful. It's like, the anxiety that they feel. So just like making that decision of doing this, you are already unique. This is your journey and only yours. Those people got there through their own journey, and maybe we don't hear the step backs. We don't hear when they were sitting down in the corner crying. They might just want to showcase this sort of like strong persona, but maybe they aren't. So we don't really know the truth. So does that does that really, is it worth it actually, like spending all this energy in comparing yourself and seeing what they're seeing and then feeling bad about yourself rather than actually spending that energy and getting to work, you know?
I love it about the energy, right? Sometimes I feel like we keep saying to ourselves like, hey, I won't make it today. I know it. I won't make it. I won't be a good trader. And we spend so much energy on negative thoughts rather than on encouraging ourselves, right?
Yeah, because that's your fixed mindset telling you, it's your brain saying, no, don't take me there, please. I want to stay here where it's nice and cozy and comfortable. But I always say, choose growth over comfort, choose growth over fear. And that itself will just, again, take you into this path, and also training your brain to see that it's okay, that failure is not that big of a deal, especially, for example, at challenges. You know, you are educating yourself, you're building skills, and and I think traders just have to believe that in the process. You know, trust the process.
I know. When I started trading, it was disaster, to be honest.
Okay, tell me about it.
It was really, really bad because I just found out about trading. So I was like, yeah, let me open a demo account. So I was trading for maybe 2 or 3 days on demo account, and I got really lucky. So I was like, I don't want to waste my time just, trading on demo account. So I went straight away, open a real account with all my savings, and within a week, I lost everything. Really, I lost everything because honestly, I didn't know anything about trading. I didn't have any strategy in place. I didn't know anything about psychology or risk management. And it was for me like when I was trading on demo account, I was like, wow, I was born for trading because like whatever I did, it was profitable basically. But then suddenly, like everything changed with opening a real account, and then I felt like, hey, I failed. I am the biggest loser in the world, and basically I lost everything. And then I was like, I gave up. And now when I look back at this situation, actually, of course that I had to lose everything because I didn't know anything about trading. So if you don't know anything about the topic, then of course that you can't really succeed. But later on, I realized that losses are part of the game, if I can say it. And now I'm really happy that there are challenges that you can, as a trader beginner, trade with, because like when you buy a challenge, there are already certain rules that you have to follow, right? So once you purchase the challenge, you already know that you have to have some kind of strategy in place. You just can't, randomly place trade. You can, but then you will lose the challenge straight away. But once you start, then you know that, okay, now I have to follow some rules in order to pass the challenge and then get the funded account, which I find for traders who are just starting out very, very positive. And plus, the only thing that you risk is actually the price you pay for the challenge.
Exactly.
So you can't lose all your savings as I did when I was younger. Luckily, I was a student at the time, so my savings were pretty low. But still, I lost everything, and it's like it doesn't matter whether you lost like 10,000 crowns or like
the feeling.
Right? Yeah, you just failed, right?
Yeah.
You lost everything, and then you have to start from scratch again. And with these challenges, I find it just great that first you have to follow some rules, so you have to have already some strategy in place in order to pass the challenge and get a funded account. Secondly, you just risk what you pay for the challenge. So you risk, let's say, $50, not all your savings,
Exactly.
which is great as well.
But it's a way to train at the moment, you train the emotions as you're feeling it. It's the best. And this is where, if I may, go back to what you're saying is in psychology development. development psychology is the scaffolding concept, right? So what I love about for traders is that it's a scaffolding for traders. So it's the concept that you are being helped. It gives you the structure for learners to grow because they're not ready for them to do it alone just yet, right? So think about like when you are riding your bike from the beginning, you have training wheels, right? So you're a kid, you have training wheels, and you're riding, and then you build confidence, and then you're like, I'm done. Those training wheels, I don't need them anymore. And then all of a sudden, you're all independent. You're on your own, riding all over the place, and you feel happy. So I feel like it's the same concept as well. You have the tools for traders, gives you the tools to start, the challenges, the feedback, this new AI trading coach, you know. So we are giving you this whole platform for you to succeed. You know, we're giving you the structure in order for you to grow and become a better trader. And once you are ready to be on your own, then you just take it off, and then you are on your own in the world, being the trader that you envision yourself to be.
Absolutely, you said it just wonderfully. And I love the trading community that we are trying to create, not only in the Czech Republic, but basically everywhere around the world.
Yeah.
And I had the opportunity to speak to so many traders from all over the world, from Thailand over Kenya, Uganda, Texas, and it's just wonderful. And especially when we do like offline events and you meet like 250 traders in one place, and you have the opportunity to speak to most of them, and then you learn about their trading beginnings, and you know that we have to say that most of the traders, they struggle with the same thing at the beginning.
Yes.
Right.
And it can be such a lonely road, right? Trading can be so lonely. And I also encourage my clients to find that community, to find their circle of friends, you know, and if they don't have them physically, look for them online, look for them. Like, we are here for traders, a community that is here for you, for whatever you need, in ways that you can reach out to us. And it's important to have that, because it's stressful, it's anxious, it's lonely, and others can actually empathize with you and connect with you, and that connection helps you not makes you feel not so alone.
I know.
Alone.
I can't wait. Like in 2 weeks, we will be organizing the trading tournament here in Prague.
Exciting.
I'm super excited because we have like over 300 traders who are coming to this tournament, and we have decided to organize their networking part as well, because we know how difficult it is to find trading buddies. And I'm just super excited about this opportunity, because I know that, as you said, some traders, they are on their own. They don't have any like trading community, and sometimes you just need someone to say like, "Hey, I just had my best day ever in trading," or on the other hand, to say like, "Hey, today just sucked. You know, I lost so much money," and just to discuss all these things about trading, not only about the trading strategy, but also about the ups and downs, and just to have someone to talk to while you are sitting behind your computer.
And be inspired, right, to continue into this journey. And as we are in this community topic as well, I think we mentioned it before, how it's important to, as you are learning the skills, to also work on your mindset, not only for yourself, but also for people around you, right? Because
we have spoken about it, right?
Yes.
Because sometimes, like traders, when they don't have the best day, they might be depressed or frustrated, and then you are not present at all. And it's sometimes for people that are around you, like your girlfriend, wife, kids, they they might get frustrated as well, because you as a trader, you are not present, and your emotions are based on your whether you were successful in trading or not, and then sometimes it might be very difficult for the people around you. So what we would advise to traders who have these emotions not in balance, let's say?
And it's such an important topic, because we have people around us, although it can be a lonely journey, but we also have to take care of the people that is around us that we love. And mindset, working on your mindset is so critical in this part, because it's not fair for them, they can understand, they can empathize. Sometimes they don't, especially kids, they might not understand why daddy is so angry and anxious and stressed. So working on your mindset, as to, again, before looking for that routine, so you can disconnect, from that experience that you just had, so you can be present for your family, for your loved ones. It's very, very important, whatever that is for you. Sitting down, meditating for 10 minutes, writing on your journal right after a horrible day, but you know that this will help you then be present and be the person that you want to be for those loved ones as well. So wow, it's like this really, it's a lot of work. It's an inner work that traders have to do, and it's not easy, but it's doable. You can do it.
So, what should I do to keep my emotions in balance? To say like, hey, now I am in front of my computer. Now I can have the roller coaster, let's say. But then once I switch off the computer, now I'm a completely different person. How to do it? Because it's very easy to say it, right? But kind of difficult to do.
Yes, and just listening to you gives me anxiety. But yeah, I think every trader has to find their own thing. What keeps you into what can get you into that Zen moment. It's sort of in transition then to go on with your life, because life goes on. Life continues even though you had a bad day. So I don't want to give you a step 1, step 2, step 3, but I think we all have to find our own thing. But I do think like the most important thing here is to identify when that voice is that fixed mindset telling you, this is horrible, you suck, and all this, and define that you really rather listen. And you'll see, right? Because who do you rather listen to? This person that is like constantly bringing you down, or this person that's seeing you all the positive, giving you positive feedback? Who are you going to choose? Who is going to empower you the most? And I think defining that, being aware of that, it's really important, and it will only make you a better trader, a better person. And all of this emotional intelligence awareness is something that you will be able to apply even if you decide to quit, that this is not for you, which is also totally okay. Because like all the experience, everything that you learn, you take it with you, and you can apply this in everywhere, every aspect of your life, at work, with your family, with your loved one, with your friendships, everywhere. This is something that will forever be with you.
I'm glad you mentioned this, that, like sometimes it's okay to say like, hey, this is not for me. And once I did an interview with one trader who got into full-time trading. And when we were talking about trading, he was so happy, like the trading is the best thing he has ever done, and he loves trading, and he makes so much money with trading. But then when we switched off the camera and we started to talk just like really honestly, he said like, hey, I didn't want to say it on camera, but I have to say it, that if I could, I would have never started trading because it's so stressful. But everyone knows that I'm a trader, and I just can't say like, hey, now is the time. Sorry, but I don't like it because it's just too stressful for me. And it's like every single month you are under such a stress. And actually, I'm not the person to hold so much stress. But because he didn't want to fail in front of his wife and his children, so he keeps trading since ever. But I felt really sorry for him.
Yeah, I think it's important to understand why you're actually doing it too, right? You want to be passionate about it, even though the ups and downs, like, it sits well with you.
Yeah.
And I think he probably became a successful trader without actually working on his mindset, you know, and finding that balance of like work, trading, and my well-being. If I'm not okay, then how is everything else around me going to be okay? So you go on like auto mode,
Yeah.
or a robot, just like continue and doing. And I kind of, and I'm sorry if I can just go back to we were talking about how do you get disconnect yourself after trading and having this bad day or whatever. And another technique that we also talked about it is seeing self-talk, right? Talking out loud, maybe even like seeing how a mentor would speak to you, right? So you dissociate yourself from yourself, and you kind of look up and see how would you speak to you or to yourself, and saying it out loud. Hey, you did okay. Look at what you did today. It was better than last time. So this self-talk really gives you a perspective of also like being kinder to yourself. And I think we forget
I think
that.
sometimes we are too harsh.
Yes, yes, and we forget to be. We wouldn't say those things to our friends. We wouldn't say those things to our children. So why do we say it to ourselves? We're so tough on ourselves, and being kind to yourself, it's not a weakness. It's actually a road that will take you to be more empathetic, to be more in balance with everything that you do.
Let's assume that I'm a trader and I have had a very, very bad day. So I had a losing streak. How to bounce back and become confident again in trading?
Well, if we were in a coaching session, I would ask you, what do you feel? What are you feeling? And where did you feel it as well? I think it's important to know where that emotion, whatever it is, frustration, anger, anxiety, stress, where in your body are you feeling it, and sit with it. Our bodies are so intelligent that they can tell us a lot without us even knowing, and so I would ask you to sit with that emotion, to not like, but this is it, I'm gonna move forward and let's go. No, actually explore it, feel it, ask those questions,
Do you mean like thinking of, like, let's say, whether I had an argument with my husband in the morning, or whether I just don't feel myself the day, or what do you mean?
Yeah. Okay. So we're going back to the trading that you're losing. You're losing your streaks. You're in that moment. You're frustrated, and you just feel like nothing is going well for you, right?
Yeah.
So that emotion at that moment is what I would like for you to explore, to see where you're feeling it, and from there, again, journal about it, write about it, see where all of these thoughts, what is your thought pattern? What's the story that you're telling yourself at that moment? And then ask yourself, is it true? Maybe give it some time and then come back to that journal and ask yourself, is it true? Is it true that I suck? Is it true that I am not making any progress? Is it true that I can't move forward? And then I think the number one rule is to also be honest with yourself. And again, if those questions are, okay, yes, I don't think this is for me. It's just too much and it's okay to quit. Or just say, no, none of that is true. I am moving forward. And this is not a step back, but a step forward into getting me to the trader that I want to be. And we've also talked about manifesting. It's something that it's a technique. It's a practice that from the neuroscience perspective, that which I love and I'm kind of obsessed about. And I would love to speak to you guys more about it. And
Bring it on.
invite me next time. Yeah, I would love to see like what the traders like, if it's something that would interest them and think to learn more about it, because it's not about putting the things the Mercedes in the vision board. No, it's actually doing some inner work and exploring the story that you're telling yourself. You know, seeing those beliefs. You know, what you were taught as a child is it something that you want to continue believing as an adult? Because those might be setbacks mentally, you know, in your mindset. And then we get into this work of inner work, and then we get to the action board. We don't call it vision board from the neuroscience perspective, from the book of Dr. Tara Swartz, The Source. She has this concept of creating an action board. So you also train your brain to see opportunities, and it's absolutely amazing. And that's something that we can have just like 2 hours more to talk about. But yes, I think being emotional, aware of what you're going through, it's the key.
I know that most of the traders, they struggle with revenge trading.
Yes.
You know, when emotions just control you, and what to do in this moment when you are full of anger and you just wanna get it back from the market.
Yes, and I think the reason why traders do revenge trading is because they haven't worked on their mindset enough. You know, if you get your mind in balance, if you learn how, because again, you are not your mind, you know, you're not your thoughts. So to be aware of that, it's important. And this, just knowing this will help you identify in those moments that you're just like, I'm going to do this. I'm going to make crazy decisions. You know, emotionally, you're not stable. You're about to make some catastrophic decisions that might make you lose all of your money, like how it happened to you, you know?
I know.
So, again, working on that mindset and learning about your brain to about your mind, how when it's like creating these moments, and to say, hey, wait a minute, I know what's happening here, I know where you want to go, but I am stronger than you, and I can see where you want to take us, but let's not do that. Let's just be calm, stay still, and continue how we're doing things. You're going into the game knowing that you're going to lose, you know, and that you have also a strategy in place. When you are in that moment, you forget all about your strategy and everything that you've been working on. Then you make these radical decisions, and everything just like what you came in prepared for just kind of disappears, you know. So knowing that could happen, and to identify it, in order to make the right decisions, it's truly the key.
Sometimes it's hard to notice the progress. You know that as we spoke about the vision that we all have, and then we forget the tiny steps that we make every single day. And sometimes traders, they might give up just before the one challenge. I've done so many interviews with traders, and some of them, they purchased their first challenge, and straight away they passed the challenge. They got the funded account, and then within 2 or 3 weeks they got their first payout. But on the other hand, I did so many interviews with traders who were not profitable for so many months, even years. It took them like 3 years to become profitable, and they had to buy like 5, 6, 7 challenges before they actually passed the challenge, got the funded account, and then had payout every single month. So how not to quit before reaching the top, let's say.
Yes. And everyone's journey, again, it's different. And I think we also have to understand that we think learning is linear, but it's actually full of ups and downs and twirls and going back to the same. But the thing is that going back and the up and down, you are learning more, you are gaining more, and understanding that it's actually game changing. That every trader is different. Again, don't compare yourself. And it's the power of resilience. No, is this really what you want? And that power within you will continue to get you there. And soon enough, you will get to that trade that will be the one. And then from there, it's just going to be on and on and on and on. But also, and then maybe down, 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 down,
Yeah.
But again, it's just part of the learning journey of your trading journey.
And I think what's important to mention also is that when most of the traders, when they get into trading, they see themselves straight away, driving Lambo and
Yes.
becoming full-time traders. But I think it's the best way is to take one tiny step
Yes.
at a time.
Start small.
Start small, exactly. Before they jump into full-time trading, it's so important to have a financial pillow that you are not under such a stress that you really have to make money every single month in order to pay your bills.
Yes.
And I spoke to a couple of traders who didn't have that financial pillow, and then it's so much stress, especially if you have a family
Exactly.
to support.
I mean, think about it. Basic needs, a roof over your table, food, water. And if you don't have that, how do you think you're going to come into the game? How do you think you're going to get in front of your computer and start trading with a mind being calm? There's no way, because you're very anxious about how I'm gonna pay rent next month. I've already lost all my money here, so everything's just gonna be chaotic, and then you're not gonna be making the right decisions. Your strategies are just not gonna be working for you. And again, like what we mentioned is that you learn more from bad experiences. So don't see those failed challenges as bad. See them as a positive, as your path to succeed.
It was wonderful talking to you. I love your energy. I love your expertise, and I'm sure that traders will love what you have suggested. But before we end this interview, last question: if a trader is doubting himself after a failed challenge, what's the one thing he need to hear?
From the bottom of my heart, I will tell this trader that he's courageous. He's choosing growth again over fear, choosing growth over comfort, and that he's unique for even being at this place and doing this. I mean, how many people in the world? It's not that many. That's why it's such a lonely journey. And that to continue, that we believe in him, to believe in yourself, and to believe in the process. We're truly honored to be part of his community, that we are here to help him out in anything that they need or that he needs, and or she needs. And continue to work on your mindset. That is the key to success for everything from here on now. Let's keep going.
Well, thank you very much for your time. It was a wonderful talk. And guys, leave your thoughts in the comments below. And thank you for watching.